Yo, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another podcast. Welcome back to the Red Corner. What's happening, gents?
How's it?
What's
Hey.
up?
How's it?
What's happening?
Yeah. I
What's
don't
happening?
even know why I said podcast here. I mean, we're not American here. Podcast. Get podcast.
Hey, man.
Rad. You see, excitement is a killer. Anyways, what's happening, gents? Lesta, welcome back, bro. Welcome back. What's happening, man?
Thanks, gents. I think my Wi-Fi has been crazy, but let's see how it goes. Because
Let's
one
keep-
moment I'm hearing you, one moment I'm not. But let's push. That's cool. Let's go for it.
What an entrance! Welcome back. What an entrance. Clem, what's good, bro? What's good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We'll see. I don't know how I feel, so I think we'll try and figure it out over the next hour or so.
It's
The
just
ups,
that-
the highs are highs, the lows are low, man. It's just too
Yeah.
much. You know?
It's just that conversational. I'm good. That default. I'm good. But like deep down in
Yeah.
your heart.
do you really want to know how much time do you have? You know?
Let's get into it. Like I feel like the tone of this. We're recording on Sunday evening. For everybody, I feel like the tone of this thing just changed completely to like what I had envisioned going into the weekend. Coming off of the high, from Europe, we will definitely focus, and then today, the news that happened today. Let's but we'll get to that. Let's head back into Europe. Monday night, we no, not Monday night, Tuesday night, we got to witness the slog fest between Inter and Barca. Inter, I called it. What a match, bro! What a match that was, bro. That
7-6 on aggregate. Wow.
It's crazy.
wow, bro.
Yeah.
It's
What
wild.
kind of an Italian team concedes 6 goals over 180 minutes?
That's the thing, bro. Like they're
The
supposed to
kind
be
that's been
one.
through to a final.
For sure.
true,
They're supposed
true.
to Inter supposed to be 1-0 specialists there, like
Yeah,
protect the lead. Here they are, bro. They Dumfries, what was it? Brace in the first game.
Mm.
Second
Yeah.
game, you're still killing it. And
Mhm.
yeah.
But to be fair, they are an aging team. That team has been together for a minute now, so we're starting to see the cracks within that team. To be fair.
Yeah. No, that is true. And that is it Achebi or whoever, the guy who got the winning goal. I think that dude.
Man.
Yeah, that was his first UCL goal. What a time to get it, bro. What
Yeah.
a time, bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
what was he even doing up there?
Hey, dog. he had seen Harry Maguire the week before, so he had some inspiration. He was like,
Oh, God.
But also, it's crazy, Barcelona not being able to close that game out. It was a bit of a choke job, though, considering where they were, time on the clock. They should have handled business. To be fair,
this is probably like a wild statement, but is Barcelona Ange Ball Pro Max Ultra? Because the highlight, I mean, their highlight is ridiculous. They're like, they don't care about defending. They're so easy to get caught. Like,
Look, I mean,
Yeah.
so is it just Ange Ball perfected?
I wouldn't say it's Ange Ball perfected. I think it's Hansi Flick ball, right? He played like this even in Germany. The only reason why he wasn't found out is because they just had a superior squad that dominated Barca in that 8-2, I think, aggregate win. Like they just beat them relentlessly. So I think he's trying the same thing. The difference is he doesn't have the same caliber of players. I think it's like Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Pedri, right? Everyone else is like a very talented youngster that's still on the up. And it's like the average squad age is like 24. You know what I'm saying? So whereas when he did it with Bayern, he had a prime Lewandowski. He had Gnabry in his prime. He had a robust midfield, like guys like Thomas Muller. He had a phenomenal defense, like top in class players all across the pitch when he did with Bayern. But it's the same ball. His philosophy is the same, right? He's not like these tiki-taka managers, more Arteta that want to control position and
Yeah.
all this nonsense. And I
No.
might not score, but I'm not conceding. No. His philosophy is very simple. Yes, we'll be patient, but ultimately, I want to get that ball on the other side of the box or the other side of the field as quickly as possible. That's his philosophy. Get it forward.
Yeah, and I want to entertain. I mean, they asked him in the process, like somewhere along the line, and it was just like, bro, for me, it's about entertaining, and I don't think about like not conceding. I think about scoring more than the opposition. That's my mindset.
But then you're seeing from Ange now, it's like live by the sword, die by the sword. It doesn't, and then already.
Ange is dumb. Ange is dumb. There's a difference. Ange is dumb.
Because then it's like
Temu flick.
because I mean, like with all things, there has to be a level of balance, right? And then like with Barcelona, fine, it's a bunch of young kids, because that's what pops up to me. Is it's like, man, these kids just need like that level of like, game management stuff, and then they're
about to win the league, Chief.
Yeah,
and then they're unstoppable.
Ah.
But then look, man, I think I really think Barcelona should have closed things off, man.
No, they should have. Yeah, that's true.
I really, really think. I left that game thinking, Barcelona. Wow.
It's a wrap. It's over.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So, but was that the like? I mean, it's 2 legs, of course, but that felt like both legs, in fact, in their own right, felt like the final, or like they had the quality to be the final.
Yeah.
So Inter probably made it through there. Do you guys see Inter taking it?
Personally, I would like to see. Sorry, man. I would like to see PSG win, just from like an emotive kind of fan level. I just want to see PSG win. It's like the whole transition they've gone through this season, like minus Mbappe, and then here they are, Champions League final. That story to me makes sense. For me, as a hater,
for that reason that they might fall short, in my opinion.
As a hater,
Yeah,
that would be
look,
my reason.
it's the first, and I mean we'll segue into the match, but I mean it's the first season with PSG having an actual full-on team. No superstars. Everybody willing to track back. Everybody is willing to do the dirty work for the good of the team and stuff, and not like super egos and connections to Al Khalifi or whatever that dude's name is, and like no weird stuff. So it's interesting to see what was happening. And then I look at Luis Enrique, and I think it was before Ten Hag came. When the rumors were about Ten Hag and Poch, and Luis Enrique was there in the background, and people were like, "No, we can't have this guy. This guy is blah blah blah." You're just like, bruh, you guys don't know ball. Imagine, bro.
The guy has a Champions League, right? Let's remember the famous MSN. That trio was under him. Let's remember that. He had that team playing proper with superstars, but everyone tracking back and working hard, except Messi, of course. Messi got a pass, but
yeah. And I find the way PSG. Sorry, Lester.
Sorry, man. Don't you feel like he somewhat reinvented himself a little bit? Because like there was a point where Luis Enrique was like, it was just possession based. Like Spain, like they couldn't score goals, but they would outpass you for days. I feel like for some reason now, like Dog Day King, they're just scoring goals for fun at the moment.
Yeah. And it's passing with a purpose, moving the ball around with like, and they move it quickly. Yo, those guys, bro, they move it quickly. Yeah. Well. Roll on to Wednesday. You're coming in 1-0 down at halftime. Away day. Arteta. The messages believe whatever variant of believe it is. They were going there to win. And first, was it 20 minutes? First 20 minutes, you guys were on top of them. You were cutting them open. I can't remember the first chance. The second one was the Odegaard one. Donnarumma was just on beast mode. And it was one of those. I think, in fact, in the group chat, we were saying that these are the chances I think that you're gonna come back and regret. And it played out like that. What happened, bro? You guys lost. In fact, you lost both games on top of losing on aggregate.
No, Chief. Remember. We won the We Beat Real Madrid trophy. Just remember that.
What does
All I'm
Vigala
saying.
say? Smoking on the We Beat Real Madrid pack.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, we have that trophy in the cabinet. No, but look, it's very simple, right? I think people are understanding that or misunderstanding the win against Madrid, right? We didn't beat Madrid because we were superior or we were a great team, or rather, let me put it this way. The win against Madrid wasn't evidence of an Arsenal that's progressing, right? It was more evidence of a Madrid that's regressing. That's what that win meant,
They've
right?
been crap the whole season. Yeah.
Madrid don't crash out of Europe like that. Unless if there's something fundamentally wrong. And we know structurally and fundamentally there's something wrong. Vinny is off the pace. Rodrigo, off the pace. Mbappe is stat padding at this point. The team is not a team, all right? They're not coherent. Like, we beat arguably the worst Real Madrid team in Europe for the past 5 years, if not a decade. And we got all giddy, we got all excited. And we thought, yeah, it's our time now. All that happened with that first leg was a tactical masterclass. That's all it was. They opened us wide open. When Dembele got the ball in the center to score that goal, where were our two pivots? He stretched the pitch. They were on the left. They were coming back. No one was in sight. There was a massive gaping hole in the middle. That's what led to the first goal. And then
4
Manchester
minutes
switched it
in.
up, which is why the game sort of closed up a bit second half. So tactical masterclass.
Yeah.
And they took their chance. Simple.
Yeah.
And then second leg, yeah, fine. You can go out there and say, we're gonna give them the pressure, do whatever it is, whatever the case may be. But it's gonna come back to that same thing. Yes, Declan Rice had chances, right? But if you are banking on a 6 converted 8 to bag in chances for you in a cup tie, you done messed up, right? You failed long before getting to that game, right? You failed in your squad building, you failed in the January transfer market, you failed basically long before then. So for me, would it have been great for those chances to go in? Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Donnarumma is a top class keeper, right? He's a top class keeper. He's going to do what he does. He did the same thing against Liverpool, by the way, had a blind over game. And by the way, Alisson did the same thing against them as well, right? That's what keepers do in that moment. And that's why it's important that you get world-class players, especially goalkeepers and strikers. Because when it matters, the goalkeeper keeps it out. And when it matters, the striker puts the ball in the back of the net. We have neither. So what are we supposed to do? Go to France and what? Knock them out.
But Thomas Partey was coming back, and he was gonna be a party. What you guys failed to mention was that he was gonna give the ball away for the second goal.
Poor defending. What was that? Poor defending.
Brought him back just for throw-ins. Imagine.
What in the Rory lap is going? Quick one. What up, Tilo? What's happening, bro?
Man like Tool.
How's the boys? How's the boys?
Good.
Sharp is it?
Sharp. Welcome to the pod, man.
Yeah,
Welcome
I'm here to back you up, dog. I'm here.
You're coming here with your Maresca ball energy.
You might miss out on Europe because of your Maresca ball, but we'll get there. It's fine.
We'll get there. We're just talking PSG Arsenal. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Arsenal, the mighty Arsenal, the Arsenal who lost last year was playing fluid, incisive football. This year, le dlala the set piece, le dlala the corner, and this thing, you guys were fighting for corners and throw-ins, bruh. when I saw that first one, I'm like, what the heck are these guys doing? Is this Stoke FC for real?
Stoke, yeah, one I'm fair to. Stevenage FC. This is like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think Arteta's suffering from PTSD from that season where we challenged out of nowhere and then we bottled an 8-point lead. And then he made us more defensive and more structured and more rigid. And now here we are playing Rory Delap Stoke football.
But then everything. No, but now this is worrying for Arsenal now because we're just hearing regression. Like there's no because now Arsenal is on a serious slide now from where they were to what's happening now. For me, what was interesting for me, man, is like when I like observed the Arsenal game, I didn't watch it in like detail, but I felt so deflated on like Arsenal's behalf after PSG. I was like, yeah, bro, like Arsenal did nothing there. Like Arsenal like didn't come to the party at all, and then after managing to kind of get it up for Real Madrid and actually produce something, regardless of what state Madrid is in, but Arsenal showed up, right? Champions League quarterfinal, they showed up. And then you get into the semi-final and then it's just like a damp, it's like nothing, bro. Like that's the most unspectacular way to lose. It's just so deflating, man. And I can't even imagine what it's like to be a fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
uninspiring.
It's easy. It's easy. It depends. If you're an Arteta sexual and you care about Arteta and you're Arteta in and Arteta's the guy, we've got Super Mega Arteta. If you're one of those, then of course you're crushed, right? I am not an Arteta inner. If anything, I think, this guy, I think his time is up, in my opinion, right? Because we can't keep being bridesmaids, guys. At some point, it must be about you. Right?
Yeah.
At some point, it just needs to be about you. And I think the most embarrassing thing for me was the post-match press conference.
Did you guys see this? Speaking about bridesmaids.
That's so rude.
Did you see this?
That's so rude,
The Liverpool fans had this going on during the game today. I was like, these guys.
That was mad disrespectful.
Oh damn!
That was mad disrespectful.
Yeah.
So LG, if you're in charge at Arsenal, what are you doing with Arteta? So what do you do to Arteta at the end of the season?
Sack.
Out.
I would have left him in France with his severance and paid for his holiday in France.
So here's the thing, right? You guys are now linked to Zubimendi. Here we go, right? Cool, sharp. That's a release clause, I think. So cool.
It's supposed to be, but you never know with Arsenal.
40 million plus one.
It's not like it's verbal. Make the bid, give the FA the money, and let them tell the guys, hey, as of this date, he's no longer your player. Let's move on.
Let's just be positive. Cool, Zubimendi. Then you guys I see you guys are linked to Enquiries now. So let's just entertain it. So you guys sign Enquiries, Zubimendi. Let's just call it that. What you don't want to give Arteta a chance?
No,
with a number 9.
No,
in the system, because right now number 9 is one of your problems, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and he's had 5 years to address it, and he's only bought one striker in that time.
No, but let's say Berta saying, guys, we're getting a number 9 now, and you guys get your number 9. You don't want us. You don't want us to see how it's gonna slot in.
No. That's a fair shot. Give him his transfer market and see how he does.
He's had transfer markets, guys. What are we talking about? Lesta.
Do you think Arteta actually wants a striker though, bro?
He doesn't. He's proven 5 times that he doesn't. What are we talking about here?
It doesn't look like he wants a striker.
This man bought Gabriel Jesus. Jesus has never been claimed. That was his number 9.
He likes that extra man in midfield. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, like here's the thing. I think it was last time we did the pod. I mentioned something about another manager will need probably 1 or 2 players and we're fine. I would like to go on record and correct that. We don't need just 3 players, and I'll take you through the step by steps now. Right? Kieran is leaving on a free.
Okay.
Right? Zinchenko's not good enough. Okay, which means at left back we have Calafiori who can't defend, and an 18-year-old who looked like a ghost, by the way, on Wednesday, completely out of depth. And that's why, by the way, Haaland was telling him to stay humble. It was for moments just like that. But anyway, we'll get to that another point. Kiwior will probably want to leave because he wants first-team football. And also, I'm not fooled about the fact that he had a little purple patch. He's not good enough. So I need a backup centre-back, if not one, at least 2. Because we all see what happens when one of them gets injured. Right? At right back, I have Timber. Okay, he's fine. And Ben White, I think he's back from surgery now. Let's hope no one else needs a surgery because you never know, right? Ben White played 3 months with needing knee surgery, apparently. Anyway. Right. Thomas Partey's out of contract. Needs to be replaced. Zubimendi's replaced him. Cool. Jorginho's out of contract.
I saw something about like Partey's is in talks with the club or something like that.
Okay, great, fantastic. Then he must stay, right?
Yeah.
We have attempted to replace Granit Xhaka 2 or 3 times now, and we failed, and we still need to replace him. Merino's not an 8. He's trash. Havertz can't play that 8. No, thank you. I don't want him there. So what we have right now is Zubimendi possibly in the 6, and Declan Rice in the 8, and Odegaard in the 10, supposedly. The problem with that midfield is Odegaard is lightweight, and so is Zubimendi. He's not a powerful player type of thing. So my worry is, does that 3 as a midfielder make sense? Or does it run the risk of being run over? I don't know. Question mark. Right? But I need another 8. That is a must. I need another left winger. Right? I need a backup defender. Maybe even 2. Right? I need to buy a goalkeeper because we sold Ramsdale and this one currently is on low. Striker needs competition. It's a must. Right? And
also just needs to be able to rest, bro.
And then when all is said and done, I need a striker. The problem with the striking element is Arteta, I have no confidence whatsoever that he's able to get a striker banging 20 to 30 goals. I just don't. He can get a winger to do it, not a striker, because he wants him dropping deep and playing tiki-taka in the middle of the field and all that crap. I've never just seen him once say, guys, you see the pass, you play it. Because Gyökeres, he's like 90% of the time when he's scoring, he's running onto the ball.
He's running onto the ball, yeah.
Exactly. Like someone's setting him free. Like there's a pass to split the defense and there you go. The problem is 90% of the teams that we face, low block, mid block, down. So my question is, who's creating chances for Gyökeres? Odegaard? No chance. He's not doing it. That's number one. So then who's doing it? So Saka must spam crosses in for Gyökeres.
Yeah. Basically.
So we bought a clinical 9 that scores 90% of his goals with his feet to be spamming crosses in.
No, then now we're going back to Benjamin Sesko now.
Get a target man once. You understand? So we need at least 5 or 6 players, is what I'm trying to say.
But you guys have money. You guys have money now. And
Yeah,
then
we
like
have it.
your PSR position is good now.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are...
That's all great. That's all great. Arteta's not the guy. He's just not the guy.
But he's definitely not going anywhere. Unfortunately,
I know he's not definitely going to go anywhere, and I'm not backing him. That's fine. He's not my manager. He's Arsenal's manager. He's not my manager.
It's directly affecting your experience of Arsenal Football Club.
Okay. So then what if? So then if Arteta stays, which is likely, which is almost certain, and he does get the players that you list, or a large chunk, or he makes headway, into like the kind of players that he needs. Does that not Does that make you feel differently?
What if he's bridesmaid? What if he's bridesmaid, right? But like you're seeing, it's actually killer after 5 years. But like you're seeing that, okay, like it's an unlucky bridesmaid.
Silverware, daughter. Silverware. That's all I care about, right? You understand? I'm talking to you guys. You guys are going to be. You guys are in the final at the end of this month. Where am I?
Dog. No, London forever.
Where am I?
No, the finals not in North London, so you're all like, it's all good.
No, guys. I want trophies, right? We made it to a Carabao Cup semi-final. We got embarrassed by Newcastle. By the way, if Newcastle beat us next week, they go above us, eh?
Are you guys playing Newcastle?
Yeah, we're playing Newcastle next.
Yeah, they're above you.
It's trouble. Yeah,
game.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
I think for next week I might just be an Arsenal fan there.
Oh, you've got your own. Oh, you guys are. You're on.
You guys need to do something.
You're above Villa with goal difference. You guys same points as Villa.
No, don't worry. We're coming around to Madagascar.
You guys
we need to talk. We've been missing in action. We need to talk about Madagascar. We'll be back. Don't worry. But no, man, it's one of those where the failures of our league, of our Champions League game this week, were not born and bred from the past couple of weeks or past couple of months. It's the fact that this guy he's bought 31 players. He spent $750 million. Right? And I don't have a squad that I can pull on. Right? That's number 2. Number 3, did you guys see the crap that he did today? We're chasing a game. All his left backs are on the pitch. Nwaneri is on the bench. But we're chasing a game.
Bruh, like he's just
Did you understand?
He's just so hangover from Europe. Actually, speaking about hangover, like this guy of yours, bruh, like why is your manager a liar, bruh? Why is he a liar? Why, bruh?
Such a bloody embarrassment.
Why can't you just be graceful in defeat? Say that like the
Thank
generic
you.
stuff. Congratulations to PSG. Blah 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 blah. Now you have to start talking some BS about the
best
bench
team got
told
knocked out.
us
What the
we're
hell
the
are you
best
talking
team.
about?
Like, bro, you just look like a sore loser, bro.
Guys, like
Bro,
this whole nonsense of we dominated the game. Guys,
Bruh.
the key statistic that needs to be dominated in any football game is the
Yeah.
score.
Yeah.
That's the most important statistic.
Yeah.
Whether you have 40 chances or 70 on goal or you have 90% possession, we don't care. Did you
Wait,
outscore the
what is
opponent
he?
and did you defend better, yes or no?
What was he saying? Was he blaming Europe for the loss? What was he saying?
No, he said that, the best team in Europe got
They're the
knocked
best
out.
team in the Champions League. Left and they got knocked out.
Either that or the best team in both ties got knocked out. That's what he said.
No, he said both of those things. He said both
How
of those.
ridiculous.
Like they were the best team
Embarrassing.
left in the thing, and they got knocked out. And over the two legs, they were the better team. And he says the PSG bench even told him that they were the better team. And then they asked Luis Enrique, and Luis Enrique's like,
They really laughed.
I don't know what this guy's doing.
He's
we
delusional.
say that.
He's
An
delusional.
absolute embarrassment. Like the thing for me is when Arteta first joined, I had some optimism because you're saying the right things. Now he's just a sheer.
And there was that Pep link, and you were like, whatever. He's been part of title-winning teams with Pep, and like, you thought, no, maybe he'll bring some of that stuff there.
Even he couldn't even give Liverpool their flowers without some shade.
Did Arsenal do a guard of honor today, man, for Liverpool?
I didn't see the beginning of the game, but I think they did.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, did they?
did.
That's rough. That's rough, man. That just makes it worse.
But Arteta out, he should have stayed in.
Arteta's turning everyone into bridesmaids of that club.
and the thing for me is it's the mentality that he's breeding, right? The first time he bottled the league title, he said second is not good enough, we need to do better. Now listen to the guy talk. I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah. No, I think for me,
it's not good enough.
Yeah, for me, the biggest indictment is that you were going toe to toe with City, and City fell off the cliff, and you guys were not there to capitalize. That just doesn't make sense to me.
We're losing the league by double-digit points, eh? Double digits. Eh?
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. Not even
like
2, not
forget
3,
what Liverpool. Yeah, forget what Liverpool did or the season they've had. You guys on your own, you've just
flopped.
You flopped on your own.
But hey, he's here. There's fans that defend him. Apparently, he coached a win on Wednesday, but it's the players that went clinical. But funny enough, when we lose, it's the players' fault. When Declan Rice scores 2 amazing free kicks, Arteta should get all the plaudits.
Yeah. Anyways.
So where do you guys go from here, bro?
We're supposed to sack him, but because we're not going to sack him, we're going to spend some money in now in the summer transfer window. Our fans, as usual, are going to give the transfer market a 10 out of 10. And when things start falling apart, if not all the signings are in, they're going to shift the blame from Arteta to Berta. That's probably what's going to happen.
Do you think if Arteta's like struggling throughout the season, right, as it's progressing, if it's like what is it? Season starts in what, August, September, October. If it's like November, right, and things are not trending in the right direction, because we know. Do you think they'll let him see out the season?
Depends. A bunch of factors. The Cronkies being the Cronkies, yes, they will let him see out the season. What will turn the Cronkies' heads is the fans. So the question is, will the fans turn? And to answer whether the question or whether the fans will turn or not, it depends on the transfer season, transfer market. If that window goes according to plan and Berta does his job and everything's on Arteta, the fans might turn. If there's any question mark whatsoever about Berta should have this, Berta should have that, they're going to blame Berta and protect Arteta.
And Berta just arrived, bro. Like,
there's already fans saying Berta must do the right thing and give Arteta the tools. I'm like, what are you talking about? This guy's had $750,000 to buy bloody tools, and he's got nothing.
Yeah. Anyways, enough about Arsenal. It's a
club in crisis.
We go again. I think
Arsenal
Patrice Evra said it best. The Netflix quote. I think we all know what it is.
Go.
that was just the best analogy. Moving on to the Premier Football of Thursday night.
That was wrapped up last week.
Better believe it.
the best defense in La Liga. Put 7
Yeah.
past them. Put 7 past them. Best defense in the top 5 leagues, actually.
Yeah.
First game, I mean, obviously 3-0 down.
It was
They
right there.
lost.
It was done
Yeah, but
then.
it was actually quite hectic for them because the top scorer, that Sunset, or however you say his name, was out before the first leg, right? Obviously out for the second leg. First leg they lost that defender of theirs who got the red card, so that guy's out. And then now Williams' brothers are also out. Like it was just like going into
Injury
the
or
game.
just dropped?
Yeah.
Injury. It was scared. The injury, they pooped their pants after that first leg. That's
Those
that's
brothers are average,
that
dog.
was it.
Those brothers are average.
and then in typical United style, this is why we were saying in the group chat that like, bruh, these guys are criminals. We need at least like a 5-goal question for us to say, okay, cool, we're good. Game starts. You're thinking to yourself, guys,
There we go again.
this tie, yes, cool. Let's look to win it 1-0 or whatever. But this tie is largely game management. Start the game. Let's keep it calm. Let's keep it slow. Take the sting out of the game. Just weather that first. What do we do? We forgot how to pass the ball 5 yards. We turn the ball over. It's like every second pass from a United player is turning over possession. Dangerous areas, turning over possession. Like these guys, when they scored, bro, Clem, were you even surprised?
I wasn't. But look, I think it was a wrap. I wasn't so stressed about it because the game, the tie was over after the first leg, if we're being honest. But then that's the thing about United, man. It's like every kind of fresh start, you get to do something. It's always just like a complete shambles. So the second leg, handle business upside down.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was actually surprised that they only scored the 1 goal. Like at 3-1, I was expecting them to bring it back to 3-2, and then I was confident that we were gonna go through, but I thought it would be 3-2. I mean, like they outplayed us for like 60, 65 minutes, and then enter Mount, enter Ahmad, enter Kobe, game flipped on its head.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, United is so up and down, man. You really don't know how to kind of analyze things anymore. It's like the first leg actually ended up being like a super comfortable kind of like, situation. We wrapped up the game 3-0, we were ahead, and then you start the second leg like that. And then, what does that say about the team as well? Like the levels of inconsistency are crazy.
Like these guys, like
it's maddening. It's crazy.
Mentality, like their mentality is just trash.
It's trash.
Like they're losers, bro. They're losers. That's what it is, bro. Like dog.
Complete nonsense. Although
I feel like they need to go to the army or something like that. Like take them like preseason, take them to the army boot camp, something, bro.
Yeah. Although in the first leg and much of the tie, I did think Casemiro kind of like stepped up though. I think we also said in the chat there's something about European fixtures that but he's had some stinkers as well. He's had like some stinkers as well.
So the question, so the question now is that the final Spurs. We know Spurs have beaten us 3 times. We've actually never beaten Ange across all our managers. But this season they beat us 3 times. Once with Ten Hag, twice with Amarim. Yes, the 1-1 had dodgy ref things and blah blah blah. But so it's a European tie. There'll be a European referee. I think that's not a negligible fact. There'll be a European referee, European tie, but we're trash against Premier League teams. We're playing Spurs. What are you thinking?
Yeah, but let's keep it apart, guys. I don't think the quality of the competition in the Europa League and the Conference League is that good this year. Like for team 16th and 17th to make the final, that tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah. But some of the teams in the Europa League, I think, could have played in this season's Champions League. Some of there's I think. Look, that's the thing. You're not going to have a competition that yes, I think the bulk of the competition, the bulk of the teams in there, yeah, maybe they're not so great, but like Bilbao, Lazio, Frankfurt, there's like a handful of teams that you could say could have played in the Champions League. They're better than some of the teams who did play Champions League this season. So, and I mean, we went through Bilbao. We went through Lyon. We went through
Lazio.
Sociedad. Yeah, Spurs knocked out. Oh no, Lazio was Bodo-Glimt. Yeah, Spurs knocked out Frankfurt. So yes, you're right. But I think you can't say that we went. I think the route to the final was reasonable. We didn't avoid everybody.
For me, you beat whoever's in front of you, right? You don't control who you are up against, right? And let's be fair, in a normal regular season, Spurs and United are in Champions League and getting kicked out very quickly, right? That's pretty much like a normal season for Spurs and United as of late. But now, because the levels are just so, low from these big six English clubs, now they are playing in small ponds. And the problem is, like to Tish's point, in those smaller ponds, teams that what you'd expect to be there are actually supposed to be in the Champions League, some of these as well. And in fact, they seem better than them in the Champions League because for some reason, people are just outperforming and having one season wonders or little purple patches here and there and finding themselves at the elite level, but they're just there to make the numbers. Whereas what you would rather had is that those teams that are just making the numbers, rather bring them to Europa, bring these big teams up there, and then keep the format the same in that these guys filter down. You understand? But yeah, I mean, you beat who's in front of you at the end of the day. And let's be clear, Lyon almost knocked United out.
Remontada. You guys were focusing on the wrong teams for remontada. No, but like the dropping down chat, though, I hear like there's that whole debate of like, why are you rewarding these guys who failed in the Champions League? Why are you rewarding them with a lifeline? Why? So I hear that, but I also hear that obviously, yeah, you can say the quality is not as great because you don't have CL teams dropping down. But I think it's right that they shouldn't be dropping down, bro. You were third place. You were a loser. What are you doing here?
Like, what do you guys make of these the Wenger comments during the week about how qualification works and the winner of Europa League going into Champions League?
That guy's just
how unfair that is, and the number of was he talking about English teams or he had like a second part of it?
It's because England is going to have 6 teams, which is unprecedented. 5 teams because of the coefficient, and then the Europa League team as well. So yeah, that is a bit wild actually. 6 teams. Yeah. That's like more than a quarter.
It might be 7 next season.
No, but not in the CL.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah, it'll be 6 directly into the CL.
Yeah,
that's more than that's a lot. So he's coming from there, whatever. But
winner of Europa needs to knock down whoever's 5th.
Yeah, it should knock out. Yeah. But like for me, those comments, it's like, bruh, this thing has been like this. Now that you're seeing, like, because it's United and Spurs, and you're seeing where we are on the log. If it had been, let's see, who's there or thereabouts? I don't want to use Forest. If it had been Aston Villa, say it had been Chelsea and Aston Villa or something. Like I'm talking league position wise. That's like what? That's like 5th and 6th. Say it had been 5th and 6th in the Europa League final.
He wouldn't be saying that.
He wouldn't be saying this.
Yeah.
So for me, it just feels like salty, bro. These are the rules. Like,
but remember, right? Arsene Wenger was the specialist at top 4 as a trophy. So in his mind, if you're not on the top 4, you don't deserve to be there, or you need to get knocked out by someone that wins Europa. Also, United is not in the top 4, so in his mind, United doesn't deserve it.
He's thinking about all those times that he just missed out top 4, and he's like, if the stuff was here, I still would have gotten seal. So yeah, bro.
But looking forward to the Tottenham game. Tottenham have, our fixtures against Tottenham this season have been nonsense. But the one thing that I saw about Tottenham is James Maddison being out for the season was interesting for me, because I find that every time we play Tottenham, he seems to kind of unlock he seems to unlock a lot of our weaknesses.
Yeah.
He just kind of occupies that
How many
position
of
where
Yeah.
he occupies. No, but like he occupies that position where if you have a good player in that like playmaking role, you can tear apart this United defense, right?
Yeah.
And he's managed to do it really well in
Yeah.
the few games we've played them.
And so has the rest of the league.
Yeah, but now we're looking at this one-off kind of thing against the team we played before, and then so one hopes that's a different Tottenham that we're playing. One without.
So Son is also
without
out, right? So it's Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson are the two guys I think I'm looking at. Lenny Yoro's out now today. We'll hear what the diagnosis was, but he was injured. Well, it's not officially confirmed, but like it looked.
Wait, so you're saying Son is also out for Tottenham for the season?
Yeah, I think Son is out of the final. It's not confirmed, but I think I saw something like that. Madison's out. So yeah,
because if we're being honest as United, that's what we need to get a leg up. We need a weaker opposition, right? For us, we need our opposition.
But we've done better against stronger teams though this season. We've done better against the stronger teams.
We have.
Because these weak teams, bro, they kicking our asses here.
Yeah, but remember, Spurs has our games against Spurs this season have been trash.
And then So the other thing, Spurs is playing with the pressure, with the monkey on their back, of winning a trophy. That's going to be pressure for them as well.
Spurs.
For us, bro, like this is our fourth final in 3 years. So at least this group of players knows what it is to play in a final. This group, I mean, it's like what Dogu is maybe like the only one. Who else? Feels like Dogu in the squad is the only guy. Ugarte came in, but I think Ugarte is professional. He's mature. Like, I mean, well, so I think I'm hoping that know-how pulls through. I think the final, I mean, nobody cares how well you play in the final or whatever. You don't go to final to play beautiful football. You go there to win it. So I think we'll take it. I think, lads, it's Spurs. I think Spurs is going to be, I just think they're going to crumble under the pressure of this is our golden opportunity to win a trophy.
They're also playing under Ange's I always win a trophy in my I always win a trophy in my second
I actually
season.
have a controversial take. I think Spurs might do it. And the only reason I'm saying
Look at God. Look at God. You're like, nah.
Nah.
You're like, nah, this guy's supposed to talk some. He's going to talk some bull.
Look, I think the problem with, I wouldn't say the problem with, I think United, you guys have done well against bigger teams because bigger teams sort of control the ball and it allows you guys just to be organized and compact and hit them on the break. And with players like Bruno Fernandes, who's been clutch, let's be fair, he's not my favorite player by any stretch of the imagination, but the guy steps up. Right? He will slot it in top ends if necessary. He will score a free kick. He'll do something. He'll always do something. So I think Spurs have qualities of playing like a big team in that they're going to want to control the ball. They're going to want to dominate. They're going to come at you. So I think if you guys treat them like they're a City or treat them like they're an Arsenal, in that they're going to have the ball, they're going to come at you, let's hit them on the break type of thing. That's typically you guys do well against bigger teams. Why you struggle against smaller teams is because you all just don't know how to play football.
Yeah.
All right? You, for whatever reason, you guys can't play ball. So you can't really break down a team or do anything like that. So when asked to, it's just awkward. It's like asking guys, okay, I have the ball now at the edge of the box. What do I do? Well, then it's like, okay, I have all the space. What do I do? Okay, I'm being marked. What do I do?
Right. And we'll see. But, it's just this. You know, this is not even a tactic thing for me or whatever. It's just that mentality. I think the mentality will just carry us through. It will just. You see, Lesta now, you ran away because we were getting to Chelsea. Controversial take. We're about to get to Maresca ball. Now you ran away.
Nah, well, let's speak about Maresca Ball, right? Because I think in the league it's fallen off by the wayside. I knew it when Maresca failed to say we're in a title race. That's okay. There's no mentality here. Watch.
The manager's mentality is
And
a
they went
problem.
spiraling for like 10, 15 games.
Yeah, yeah.
And
There was
now
a
it looks
thing
like
about there was a thing about him fighting with the fans. Like I don't know. Did you see a lot about that?
I didn't.
I
I
didn't
didn't
see
remember much of that.
Yeah. So we'll see. But like this guy, it's like a carbon copy of last season when he won promotion. He got it in the end, but like first half of the season on fire, storming the league. This was in the championship with Leicester. And then something happens, man, turn of the year or whatever, then like things just start falling apart and like they just like and it's like the same thing happened at Chelsea and like it feels like there's a problem with him.
But wouldn't you also say, look, I haven't been following much of Chelsea, but if you start interrogating the players, when the team was flying, a guy like Cole Palmer was, he was banging them in, he was doing it all, and then he just falls away. So then also, the makeup of the team, what's happening? Like who are the guys there at Chelsea who are stepping up? Like what is the makeup of the team? What is his what is his kind of, because you remember Chelsea have 1 million footballers, right? That's their thing. They have 1 million and one footballers.
Not a million. It's 1 million and it's 1 million and two.
And it's like, guys, you couldn't put together like a decent kind of like
It's yeah. I mean, again, it's that whole thing, and we've spoken about it before. Like, you need experience, and like this guy, I don't know why. It's like they're obviously going for the money ball approach. Let's get all the hottest talent or like all the people with the best stats and blah blah blah. Let's get them young. Let's lock them in. Let's build the super team. But the problem is that you have to play football right now. And these guys don't have the maturity yet. They're still gaining that experience. And whilst they're gaining that experience, bro, you gotta temper your expectations. But I don't know if his owners are people who are gonna give him time like that.
Look, I haven't been watching much of Chelsea, and I do agree. Cole Palmer's fallen off a cliff based on the season that he had last season, and I'm wondering if it's the system, because the problem with system managers, and I think this is where people blame Pep for ruining football, but I don't think it's his fault, right? I think it's everyone else trying to play like him. With all these systems where everyone has this defined role, you must stay wide, you must do this and whatever, and open up and blah. Guys, some players just need freedom. Cole Palmer's one of those players where under someone like an Arsene Wenger, he'd flourish. He would flourish because Wenger would be like, Chief, sit in the 10, make things happen. Do what you want.
Yeah.
You understand? He's
but
one
I
of those
think
players
freedom,
where he
but
needs
you
freedom.
give freedom to exceptional players.
He's
You give
exceptional.
freedom to you give freedom to Messi and MSN. You give Messi and you say, Messi, you're free.
Not just
Suarez,
Messi.
Neymar,
Not just Messi.
these are your roles.
There's
You have to
plenty
be
of
on
case.
that other level.
Yeah, but there's plenty players for who I can argue that works that are nowhere near the levels of like a Messi. Like, I mean, look at Spurs back when they were under Poch. Eriksen had freedom. Gareth Bale had freedom, right? Look at Arsenal with the likes of Santi Cazorla, the likes of Fabregas, whoever was our 10 at the time. You give them freedom, right? Creative players need freedom. You can't stifle them with all these systems. You just can't. Give them freedom. Like Morgan Gibbs White all of a sudden is a revelation. Why? He has freedom. Players need freedom. You give them freedom, they'll flourish. But if you take a creative player, you tell them system this, rigid, that, whatever, some of them can step up to that plate. Others, it's like, dude, that's not their play. I mean, think about it. João Felix couldn't make it in that team. Can you believe it? João Felix. You understand? One of those creative, talented players who can't make it. Jadon Sancho struggling. And Jadon Sancho, let's be fair. If you say to Jadon Sancho, you have 15 minutes, do whatever the hell you want to win me this game. You'll see magic. We all know this. As much as I know Tish doesn't like him, you will see magic.
I'm not
talented player.
I'm not sure if you'll see that magic. I'm not sure.
All I'm
I'm not
saying
in the Premier League, anyways.
All I'm saying is he went on loan at Dortmund just last season for a couple of months, and he rediscovered like instantly there was a spark again. Why? The guy was playing with freedom. He was enjoying his football again. He wasn't being told stay here in this quadrant, this half circle, all the 58 zones on the pitch must be there. No. Chief, one-on-one, take your man. One-on-one, he will dribble almost anyone. You understand?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, I
But
just feel
look,
that some players
yeah,
just need
yeah,
to.
no, I hear you, and by all means, give creative players freedom. But I think there's a system that kind of comes in that goes before the freedom for the creative player. So the creative player needs to be able to kind of do what he does to let the talent take over, but he needs to have a functioning kind of unit around him or behind him. So there is kind of like a middle ground
Of course.
there is a middle ground between that, and I think when I look at Chelsea, beyond Cole Palmer, even as a distant observer, there's absolutely nothing.
There's nothing.
So it might be it's easy to kind of blame the system, but Chelsea's kind of recruitment approach actually may be the problem here. Like they've bought everyone and no one at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like there's no one at that football club, and they've let go of like real quality football.
Where's Lesta to defend Chelsea? Where are they?
Hey, dog. Yeah, no, it's a mess. It's a mess there. They play real. They play the GOAT in the Conference League final there. The La Liga GOAT there, Anthony, who's killing it. Who's killing it? In fact, and Anthony, had Anthony started at the beginning, I'm sure he'll be up there for La Liga Player of the Season. He would be up there with Rafinha and
I can't
Yamal.
understand. I can't understand. I find it very difficult to believe that a player can be what he was at United and he's what he is right now at La Liga, and it has nothing to do with the way he was getting coached at United. I find it very difficult to believe still.
By two different coaches.
Yeah. You don't just wake up and do what you just did right now, and then
Anthony does seem that, like, personality-wise, he does seem that erratic. He does seem capable of just waking up and deciding, I'm going to play football now.
Then motivate him.
He does seem like that kind of guy.
I think you can't play down the weight of expectation and like the globalization of a club and just that like
fair enough
pressure. The shirt is heavy, bro. The shirt is heavy. You saw now. Remember Anthony, the first spinneroo that he did or whatever, a pirouette. It was in the media for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, talking about him doing the little spinny thing and losing the ball. That's pressure, bro. Like
that was partially because Ten Hag jumped on him as well. Had Ten Hag just find a way creatively to take attention away and said, hey, he's a creative player. Allow him to express himself. I don't know, that's not the problem. Had he backed him, would have been his story.
Carragher, Gary Neville, bro. Those guys, or Craig Burley, those guys will be on his case. Nonetheless.
Love Craig Burley.
So now, what do we do? What do we do with a guy like Anthony? Do we take him back?
You sell him, of course. You
sell him.
You don't have a choice now.
Nah, you sell him. You sell him.
I
think at least, like, for me, he's recouped some of his value at least. So, or at least his raised his perceived value. Atleti is sniffing around. Betis seems like they're poor. They're talking about another loan. Actually hoping that they make it into the... Where are they? I think they could make it into the Champions League, because of Anthony. Where are they on the table? Let's see. La Liga table.
They should be third.
Betis, they're sixth. They're sixth.
Oh, you're talking about Betis wanting it?
Yeah, actually he's on loan there. They're sixth, and it's La Liga also getting 5 in the Champions League. It looks like it.
Yeah, it's 5. Which makes sense.
Yeah. So they're 3 points behind Villarreal. 3 points behind the CL spot. So maybe they sneak into the Champions League there. They get some bucks. Maybe they'll be able to buy him. But otherwise, Atleti has offered him, and I think he'll work for Simeone as well. Anthony works hard, like in terms of like defensive work and all that.
He does work very hard. Yeah,
he works very hard. I think he'll work under Simeone.
But to answer your question, LG, I don't know how much of it you can put down to coaching at Man United, because you look at a guy like Ahmad, at Man United has progressed this season.
But
So
under Ten Hag, he was doing this.
on
No
the
point.
on the other side of the
But-
coin, it's like
But
some
also,
guys embrace.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, just on that season before under Ten Hag, he was doing this. So it's the same coach, same coaching staff. It's the thing that's different is the
We've had the
environment.
Ten Hag debate. For me, any player that didn't do well under Ten Hag, I'd give them a chance first before banning them, because that guy couldn't make up his mind.
I'm just saying that this is a different
Yeah, fair
example
enough, fair
because Ten Hag came with him, or maybe not. Was it directly?
Yeah, to not
the
play
next
his
window?
football as well.
But like,
So,
yeah, that's another that's another thing. But I'm just saying that on the coaching thing, it's the same coach, right? That like he just
Yeah.
he
I don't know,
couldn't
man. I just have a feeling that like even if you take Anthony to a Bournemouth, for example, I think it could absolutely ball out. Just a manager that says, Chief, dribble, cross, or score. Do what you like. Help us defend, yes, but when you go forward, express yourself.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure, even if he comes back into the Premier place for like a Bournemouth or an Aston Villa or whatever, he'll be levels.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion.
yeah. We'll see, but they're calling it just as something. They're calling the final the El Clasico, the Europa League final. The El Clasico. We'll see. But anyways, we were talking about Chelsea Betis. Do you think Betis has any hope of beating Chelsea?
Of course, they have a hope of beating Chelsea.
I actually think they'll win that final. To be honest, I think they'll win it.
See,
I'm hoping for an Anthony
Pellegrini
madness.
is an experienced manager. He's an experienced campaigner, right? And all it takes is some sprinkle dust from Anthony or an Isco, and they could be in the lead, especially because Chelsea defensively is not the greatest.
Yeah.
Let's be fair, right? And also in tournaments like that, you need big players and big players with experience. I mean, let's be fair. Who did Chelsea play now in the semi-final? Do you guys know? Because I don't.
No idea.
My point exactly.
So it's a made-up
Right.
team, bro.
Whereas Betis knocked out Fiorentina, and it was a tight game. And it's one of those where Anthony was the difference. But again, it's a Fiorentina team that's also been to that final before when playing against West Ham. So it's like, okay, Chelsea is going to be there for the first time. Young squad, no mentality, no one in the team that's won anything. It's like, well, there's Enzo Fernandez, I guess, who's won a World Cup. But let's be fair, he wasn't the spine to the team. He wasn't like the big guy in the dressing room, whatever the case may be. So it's going to be a good contest. If Chelsea think they're going to walk over Betis, I think they're in for a shock. And I wouldn't easily say the game is, Betis is going to struggle with it. Betis is the underdog. No, I think it's an evenly matched tie, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's actually wild, this Anthony effect. The 3 points of the CL, I think when he came, they were like, they were like 12, 30, like somewhere low there. Somewhere, it's actually quite wild.
So does winner of Conference League go into Europa League next season? How does that work? Same story.
Same story.
Yeah. But then look, maybe just to kind of also look at Chelsea's chances here. Chelsea are in the position where they're sniffing around some silverware. Isn't that a big motivator for Chelsea? Because we talk a lot about the cycles. You need to win something at some point, and then now Chelsea have steadily been going along this money ball thing, and here's a chance to prove it, as a successful kind of thing. So that's a big motivator for Chelsea, right? Just to get some silverware. And then kick on from there.
No. Well, we'll see. Does it even count as silverware? This one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's feeling Community Shieldish. It's feeling a little bit. Would you rather? Here's the thing. Would you rather win the Carabao Cup or the Conference League?
Conference League.
I don't know, man.
It's a European title. It's a European title, man.
It's an official UEFA European title, and we don't have any European silverware. In fact, the European silverware we have is the equivalent of a Conference League, if not worse. So I've got nothing in Europe, guys. I'll take anything in Europe, honestly.
So what's this thing with Arsenal fans supporting Spurs in the final? What's this thing about? How are we a bigger rival than like your literal city rival?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. You see, we banter Spurs because they win nothing.
Mm.
So for us to be able to keep telling them to shut the hell up because they win nothing, they need to lose.
Yeah.
If they win, right, they go into the Champions League and they have silverware. Arsenal are in the Champions League and have 0 silverware. For the
Not
fifth
just any
season
silverware,
running.
European silverware. Like
On
just
top of that,
in
it's
your
European
guys'
silverware.
story, it's yeah.
Exactly. Like for example, Newcastle United are going to have a better season than us if they finish above us, or even if they finish in the Champions League because they've got silverware. Do you understand? So that's what it is, right? I think United, you guys have been bantering us for the longest time, right? You guys have had our number even from Wenger days. So it's nothing new if United win the league. But for Tottenham to be as abysmal as what they are and get a European trophy while Arsenal and make it in the Champions League, whilst Arsenal makes it in the Champions League and yet again has nothing. That's an embarrassment.
Yet you're saying you'll be a Spurs fan for the day. And I've seen like a number of fans saying something similar.
Dude, it's a double-edged sword, man. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I either have you guys for the next, I don't know how long in my ears, but then again, at least you guys know that I'm not a fan of Arteta anyway. And it's not like it's going to be, you don't need to cook me as much because I'm like, this guy needs to go. But
we're just trying to survive, bro. We're just trying to survive. We ain't even trying to cook nobody. We're just trying to...
I think
but
also,
after the season United have had, even winning the Europa League, I think you're not going to walk around, thinking we've made it again. It's just
no. But what you're gonna say
it's definitely not that situation.
What you're gonna say is, in the 3 years that Arteta was a bridesman, 3 times you guys made it to finals, and 3 times you guys.
We will say that. We will say that.
We will say that. He's like delivering his own memes now. Okay? He's like just handing them to us. He's like,
for me,
I'm just stating facts.
Yeah. So yeah, that will come in as an opportune fact. But for me, the biggest thing when I look at Europa, yes, CL football in itself is fine, and I think it will be a little bit easier with the new format.
Silverware.
The
trophy.
For me now, bro, I'm looking at transfer budget. I'm looking at you win the budget. The budget goes up because we need a lot. We need a lot. That's all I'm looking at.
And funny enough, right? You're Victor Gyökeres. Don't be biased now, right? Just be realistic. You're Victor Gyökeres. United is in the Champions League.
Yeah,
they've got money to spend. They can pay your wages. They can pay your release clause. Arteta can do the same. Just looking at the style of football. As Gyökeres, where are you going?
Yeah, from a startup football point of view, it's United. Yeah.
I'm going to join my former manager who got the best out of me. He'll continue to do the same, and he'll build the team around me to do the same.
And it's also
Arteta's going to tell you to go track back and go tackle DMs left, right, and center.
Yeah. On top of that, you know that you are dead set going to be a key man when you go there. You know that fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe Gyökeres has a lot more in his locker, and maybe we'll transform the way we play. All I'm just saying is someone has to create chances for him, and I don't see what it's going to be because Odegaard, unless if he turns it around and has a blind of a season, but he's not the guy to be finding killer passes unless if we're on the counter and it's a Martinelli that he's finding. Sure, he'll find him. Or unless if the team is absolutely coming at us, he'll find him. But if it's a team that says come attack us, we're sitting back, he's not picking up in that log. No.
Yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, man. I mean, the season's basically done. We'll do a review. We'll do a proper review at the end of the season. But I mean, that's why it's so annoying, man, that Lenny Yoro got injured in like such a useless game.
Thing. But if you look at what United's doing, week in, week out in the Premier League, we just keep taking L's, man. And if you look at the state of the log now, it's like us in Tottenham literally right above the relegation. It's nonsense, dog. It's really embarrassing. And then you even think it's like, okay, fine, you win the Europa League, you go into the Champions League next season. You're literally going there to just expose yourself, unless some miracle, unless something, because we're not showing any beyond the games in the Europa League. Every week in the Premier League, we're just reverting to nonsense.
Yeah,
like
100%,
week in, week out, and that's hella problematic, man.
100%. But we would do better in the Champions League, especially with this new format. We would definitely do. I think it would be similar to what we're doing in Europa League. Maybe not to the same level, but like I think similar. European football is different, man. It's, the physicality is different. There's more time to make decisions. There's more.
Yeah, but look, remember, you're also trying to get into the Champions League and stay in the Champions League, right? We're not giving. We're giving currently. We're giving one season in the Champions League.
But remember, all of this is predicated with you get into the Champions League. You've got your war chest.
Yeah.
You make moves in the summer, right? You plug the holes that you've got. You are better. I mean, that's why we're just talking. Emerim now saying that, look, guys, we can't do this next season. If we're doing this, I must go. That's what he's saying. So, like, I think there's an acknowledgement that obviously this is shit. It's not good enough. But the window's opening. That's the key factor. If I look at the Champions League, like some of the boys, I'll look at the bottom. Young boys. Slovan Bratislava. Salzburg. Sparta Praha. SK Stam Graz. Bologna, Shakhtar Donetsk, Dinamo Zagreb, Club Bruges, Celtic, Brest, Monaco. These are teams, bro, like Lille. No, lost Lille. Yeah. Oh no, wait. Lille can't have been in the Champions League. Oh no, Lille. Sorry. I'm confusing Lille and Lyon. But looking at those teams, these are teams that guys played in the Champions League this season. So like they are very beatable teams in the Champions League. And remember,
this new format.
Top 8, top 8 go through, and then after that, it's the next batch of like quite a number of teams go through. So I think even this United team in this state we could get through, and then would go out in the first knockout round without reinforcements. So I mean, we're not going there to win it. Of course, we're not going there to win it. We're not going there to do. Yeah, no, we know. We know. We're going there for the bag, bro. That's all I care about right now. Just the bag that comes with it.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, like you said, this league season is done for me. We watched a couple of dead rubbers today. Wow.
The problem I find with Arsenal is that I think Arteta just has too much credit in the bank, man. As much as you can drag him, I think he's still in like a net positive for his time.
Yeah.
And then now that's just like that. It's like the relationship that you want to leave, but it's like you just can't.
That's how standards drop, Chief. That's how standards drop when fans are more in love with the manager and his success story than the club itself, and they can't pull out objective facts. 5 seasons, 750 million spent, 0 trophies. By any stretch of the imagination, for a big 6 club, again, we're a big club, aren't we? We're supposed to be a big club.
Supposed to be,
right?
Yeah.
Big clubs don't behave like that. Big clubs don't find that acceptable. Big clubs are like, yay, pass up, fix it or get out. That's how big clubs behave.
You're in a tough situation because you can come and write all you wanted, blah blah, but for a fact Arteta's going to be there. Like that's that's a rough one. That's a rough one.
It's almost like, look, I'll just watch for the sake of watching, I guess, or it is whatever the case may be. But look, I'd like for him to prove me wrong. I'd like for him to whoop up something and be the success story, but I don't want that for him. I want it for my club. I want to win trophies at the end of the day, no matter who's in charge. So if he happens to be in charge, he better do the right thing and get me a trophy. But do I care about his personal individual success? I don't give a shit.
While you're talking about that, do managers get a medal if they were part of the campaign? Like Ten Hag, is Ten Hag gonna get a Europa League medal if we win it? Is it the same as with the players?
Let's see. What is Google saying?
Because I don't want Ten Hag, Jeff. If we win it, bro, I don't want to give it to Ten Hag, bro. And then you've got Anthony there, who could potentially win the Europa League and the Conference League. It's wild, bro. Yeah. But let's check. Is it? Yeah. But with that, gents, I think now we just. I think our season, there's only one game that matters. Is in 2 weeks' time. We just need to hook by crook, sort it out, get to the transfer window. That's all I care about right now. Like analysis, and we're crap. We're crap every week. We will be
Have
crap
been
in the
crap every
final
week.
as well. Like just as long as we win. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And with that, I think we can call it here, guys.
Such a shame. These Maresca, the Maresca boys ran away. They have to come account for this football that's struggling
We'll find them.
to qualify for Europe.
Both of them blaming Wi-Fi. It seems like they strategized before.
Audio, Wi-Fi. Like we're not in 2025 with all the technology in the world.
Anyways, gents, thanks for the chat. We'll see you guys.
Sure.
Guys, remember, click like, click share, hit subscribe.
Yeah.
See you around.
Arteta out.
Cheers.